Okay, so do you remember me talking about how the veil thins when you're falling asleep? Because that's an important tool that you can utilize for your highest good, whether that's wanting clarity on situations, whether that's wanting information, whether that's wanting enlightenment, or just better manifestation capabilities. This is what you do with that space. It keeps happening for me. It's been happening like this for months. But as I'm falling asleep, as I'm drifting off into Neverland, I've learned that as your 3D exterior shuts down, your astral, spiritual plugs in. And so I've been working on protections in the astral realm from, energetic siphoning, interferences, or fear mongering. And I work very closely with my spirit team for my highest good to achieve all this. I ask them for help because you have to remember we're in a free will planet and they respect that. They respect free will when they're in tandem and in alignment with Source. I only work with energies that are a reflection of true Source. I don't work with darkness. I defeat that, overcome it, cleanse it, and integrate it. You're supposed to be integrating your shadows. It's called shadow work. It's basically descending into your own personal hell, and that way you can clean up the muck and ascend into your own personal heaven. So in order to do that, I've also been listening to the messages during the day, but let's be honest, our consciousness does not always get it. Like synchronicities help. Full-blown messages and spiritual animals like omens, like those help. We don't always know what those mean because we're not trained. A lot of us don't know. You can always look it up, web search it, but I personally love to use this tool as like validation, verification, and clarity. So if I want to know something, for instance, if someone's attacking me in the spiritual realm, because everything that happens in the spiritual manifests in our physical. So if you feel energetically off and you're doing everything like you're aware of your chakras, you're cleansing, you're protecting, but you're still like, what the heck is going on? I've asked to know. I'm like, who is doing this? I want to know who. Who is attacking me? And as you're falling asleep, that transitional period where the veil thins, you can look this up. This is actually what happens. As the veil thins, you're able to access your subconscious messages and your spiritual knowledge so that you can gain more clarity. So, like, for instance, I asked to know who was spiritually attacking me because I was finally facing the music. I'm like, okay, I've been spiritually attacked. Not that I'm a victim, but I'm also like, who the heck? Who is doing this? And I immediately saw a vision of somebody telling me who it was, but I knew both of these people were involved. So it's not like they were getting off scot-free because they were acting pretty sus in the vision, in the mini dream. But I was like, all right, bet, cool. And I woke up a few minutes later, had my answer. I was like, thank you, angels. Thank you, Archangel Michael, Azrael, Gabriel, Ariel. There's a lot. So you can look up the archangels and their specific strengths and abilities, and you can work directly with them. But I don't always remember them, so I'm always like, thank you, angels. Thank you. Thank you, higher self, which is like your eternal soul. Like when we're in this 3D body, we're only experiencing like fractals and fragments of our whole soul's being because, this body can only hold so much. And yeah, like we're distracted during the day, so we don't always see the messages or we don't always make sense of them right away. And that's okay. It's all in timing. All in when it needs to happen, it happens. Like no need to stress about it. But I want you guys to use this little trick to get your answers a little bit quicker, to get more clarity, and to kind of like take back the control of your spiritual technology. Because I've been attacked in my dream state. I can tell I'm being attacked and I know how to defend myself now. Whereas before I would be like, whoa, what's going on? Like, I just blindly trust it. And now I'm like, get away from me. Frig off. And I'll wake up and I'm like, the heck was that? Oh no, they didn't. So you have more power than you realize. But when you don't realize your power, somebody else is trying to take it or mess with it or manipulate it or benefit from it. There are a lot of energies, people, beings, whatever, that are out there that don't know how to access their true divine source, life source power from God, consciousness. And because of that, they like to be energetic vampires and siphon it from others, and steal others. And that's a very sacred energy that you can harness for your highest good. So before you go to sleep, set your intention. What do you want? Like, what do you want? Do you want some clarity? Do you want peace? Do you want healing? Because we're all talking about like your soul's ascension, like your path to enlightenment, your path to freedom. Because if you haven't realized, this whole 3D experience has gotten pretty off balance and rocky. And that's because the divine feminine has been suppressed and demonized and hidden from us. When creation, God consciousness is the both of them. God consciousness is the divine feminine and the divine masculine in tandem, in balance. That's why on the Ankh, the cross with the loopy, the top part that goes this way and that loops, that's the female, and then the stem is the male. They cut off the female part and they made it just like a cross. So that was intentional so that you guys and me, we would not know how to access our true manifestation, co-creative powers. So in this experience, we have the power to manifest and co-create our reality. We just don't know how anymore. So we're all waking up. We're all going through this great awakening together. And part of it is learning how to harness our spiritual technology. So amazing, amazing trick. You will get results, but set your intentions before you go to sleep. Say, I want to know about my past lives. Like whatever needs to be shown to me, please reveal it. And just let yourself drift off. Let yourself go to sleep. And if you and your spirit team are tight and you have an understanding and you can trust, then you will get those, because that's what I did. And I definitely had some pretty cool dreams of me, basically being in like Egyptian architecture. So I was like, all right, bet. I've had dreams about being in like New Orleans in like the 1800s. I've had dreams just about, like who is spiritually attacking me. I've had dreams about just confronting certain family members. And just because it's like, I am not here to enable people's demons. I'm here to hold up a mirror, and that reflection should show you what you are supposed to be handling and facing and fighting and defeating. Because we all have to do that if we want to manifest a healed world and a better experience for everybody. But that takes us not being afraid of our own journey and just working through it day by day, listening to your body, listening to your intuition, following your heart. And when that heart is healed, and when that heart is confident, and when that heart is secure, then you can follow it and manifest greater things for yourself and a better experience and a more healed, abundant experience. So That's literally all I want for all of us, is just to understand that, like, hey, there are things that we haven't tapped into that when we do, we feel more empowered and we start to change our trajectory from away from that survival code and that lack mindset into the abundance that is truly the universe. Like, God consciousness, like, created everything out of nothing. That's abundance. That's limitless abundance. And we have been under this illusion that we're separate from that and that we're cut off from that divine source. And so this is a part of that journey of remembering, connecting back with our true life source power. Because again, if you're not utilizing it, something else is trying to mess with it or siphon it. And it's worth protecting with everything. And I don't mean it from a fearful stance, and I don't mean it from like a bitter stance. I just mean it's like, I trust the universe. I trust God, however you want to say it. And I don't say God, like I said, as a male entity. God is both. God is the divine feminine and the divine masculine and the inner child. So like those, the three in tandem, the three in balance, is how you achieve your soul's ascension and your freedom, you know? But yeah, definitely try this trick when you're falling asleep. Manifest and set your intentions on what you want to achieve, because again, your dream state can be used for so many different things. Your astral body can do a lot. Like, you know, when you sleep the whole night and you wake up still exhausted, it's probably because your spiritual side is still doing the damn thing, still doing some work, still working overtime, and, you know, helping you achieve your highest timeline. So I hope this helps. Please set your intentions for when you go to sleep. And if you want to let me know, let me know. But yeah, I've set my intentions for a lot of different things when I go to sleep. Just whatever's on your heart, you know? Don't stress. Just request. And source is always rhyming. That's why I've always been like a mad rhymer. Like, no matter what I'm doing and saying, I freaking sound like Dr. Seuss. And that's a bit of source. That's a bit of source in ya. They like to rhyme. They like to synchronize. They like to send messages through animals and through numbers and through messages, and just listen to what resonates. That's why a lot of readers on like YouTube and stuff will be like, take what resonates and leave the rest. It's because you are trusting your inner voice and your inner guidance above all. Above all. Even Jesus said, I'm not religious, but he anchored the frequency that we're all trying to achieve. Like, he anchored a higher frequency to connect us with source again. And he said so many truths that if you actually can separate the Roman interference that totally disregarded the divine feminine and Mary Magdalene, his divine counterpart. But if you look at what he was saying and what he actually stood for, he would say stuff like, the kingdom is within, and I'm the Son of God. And this is not blasphemy, but a lot of people will think it is. Oh no. But he was teaching us the how to. He was teaching us how to do the same. So the kingdom is within me. I am the Son, which means I have that giant source power, you know? Like, he wasn't the only one. He was showing us how it's done. Does that make sense? But they turned it into a religion, and they turned it into a controlling force where there was hierarchies and trying to tell you that, like, you know, the only way to access God is through another man. That's blasphemy right there. That is blasphemy. That is the biggest lie. Hell no. Oh, that gets me like, oh, hell no. Like, God is within. And I don't mean that gives you license to do whatever the hell you want. I mean that you have the truth that you can access through shadow work, through accountability, through facing yourself, your demons, looking in the mirror, addressing these karmic cycles that you keep repeating, addressing the inner pain that is just dying to be healed, to be loved, to be nurtured, to be integrated. There's not one part of you that doesn't want to be healed and to be better and to be whole. You know, when you stand on that truth that everything is working for me and you claim that, and you realize that the universe is just trying to help you heal and help you ascend and help your soul connect with the truth again, then I made myself red. That's how passionate I was getting. Like how sensitive I am. How did I get red? So funny. But yeah, like I've been using that transitional period of falling asleep for my highest good. And I set my intentions right before it. And I'm always getting an answer. Y'all, I'm always getting an answer. And it's so, oh my God, I'm going to cry. But it's so comforting and it's so reassuring and it's so empowering. You know you're not alone, even though the Matrix tries to tell you the opposite. B, without distractions and with just the stillness of the night, you're able to recalibrate and access the truth and have the guidance you need to be truly joyful and return to self, you know. It's beautiful. It's healing. It's amazing. And I just want everybody else to know about it. Best trick in the book. Because I suck at meditating, but it's like a way to like hack a meditative state is that transitional period. So set your intentions. Love you.